We're taking you to the front lines of this year's Upper Applegate fire, burning in almost identical conditions to last year. We'll take a look on how changes in responding agencies made a difference. Plus, a huge step was taken in developing the Curry Health Network extension to increase healthcare access for cancer patients.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 o'clock on June 27th. Happy Friday. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Murrieta. We first want to turn over to Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman to see what your Friday is shaping up to look.
Well, we'll be seeing mostly sunny skies across the region for today. Just some passing higher level clouds this afternoon. Less of an influence of the marine layer as we see winds pick up not only along the coast but also across the rest of the region as we move into the afternoon. Very warm temperatures. It'll be even a little bit warmer than yesterday. Highs running above average. Take a look at the forecast for the Rogue Valley. Your planner on this Friday up to about 77 degrees by the noon hour and then pushing near 90 later today. But those breezes will be picking up out of the northwest. Sunset tonight is at 8:52 p.m. Highs today up to 88 in Grants Pass, 84 in Klamath Falls. We'll work up to about 88 in Wairika and 70 degrees in Brookings. Want to mention the drought monitor. Here's a look at last week. This week, no change with the moderate drought area, but we do have abnormally dry conditions now across all of southern Oregon and then into much of northern California, but tracking the potential of some shower and thunderstorm chances into early next week. I'll have more details on that and a closer look at your weekend coming up.
CalFire law enforcement has arrested a suspect in the Montana fire. The Montana fire was first reported around 6 p.m. on Tuesday in Montague. It burned 20 acres before firefighters were able to fully contain it. An investigation determined the fire was caused by an illegal burn, and 53-year-old Adam Huddleston is now facing felony and misdemeanor charges. He's lodged in the Siskiyou County Jail this morning with his bail set at $100,000. And we're taking a closer look at this year's Upper Applegate fire response and why it's playing out so differently than last year. NewsWatch 12 Samantha Kadera joined fire crews on the front lines to see their efforts firsthand. Though the fire started in nearly the same effort under similar conditions, the outcome has been very different.
The Upper Applegate fire has burned 468 acres so far, with containment well past 70% while crews are still mopping up. The scale of this year's fire is notably smaller than the one that burned here last June.
Behind us on this hillside is the only area where the Upper Applegate fire actually burned down to a road system. This is where firefighters were able to hold it off and keep it from spreading.
Last year's fire in the same area reached more than 1,100 acres and cost just over $7.2 million to fight. This year's cost is still being tracked, but officials expect it to be significantly less.
Last year, we still had a lot of those folks in those trainings. They were leaving the classroom to come to respond to the Upper Applegate fire. So it made a huge difference as far as response.
Will early staffing become a standard practice moving forward?
We're going to do everything that we can to just keep furthering this effort for response readiness and bringing people on early.
Crews with the Bureau of Land Management spent the winter cutting and removing thousands of dead trees along key access roads throughout the Upper Applegate to shave response time and protect firefighters.
This road had thousands of dead trees. It would have taken firefighters a long time to be able to come in here and cut out the trees and make it a safe access point. They might have even not come to the spot.
BLM told me that thinning projects like this one are one of the most effective tools to reduce fire severity, but the pace of that work is falling short of regional goals.
We only have enough funding and staff to be able to treat somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 acres a year. So we know we're behind. So if this work hadn't been completed, if this fire had gotten bigger, there would have been an added cost, not to mention the time and effort and risk to firefighters of having to come into a stand full of dead trees.
Logs removed from last year's fire area totaled enough wood to build more than 80 homes, but agencies say the remaining threat both from fire and fuel remains high without continued mitigation.
While BLM's out here doing this work in the winter, we're also doing mitigation work where we can. It becomes the responsibility of the landowner and the folks who live in these areas to make sure that they're doing what they can to create defensible space. And not only is that going to help firefighters protect their home in the event of a wildfire nearby, but it could protect their whole neighborhood.
Tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Dodge Bridge Station, Jackson County Fire District 3 will be giving out free mulch. This mulch was created from tree limbs and green waste collected through their wildfire fuels reduction program. To reduce wildfire risk, the fire department says the mulch should not be used within 5 feet of homes or structures, and if you show up with a commercial truck or profit-based interests, you will be turned away. And tomorrow, the Coos Forest Protective Association will be conducting a controlled training burn, and the burn will be taking place along Airport Road and 5th Place. Airport Road and 5th Place at the junction of Pacific Street will be closed for the day, and the city of Gold Beach is asking residents to avoid the area tomorrow. And new this morning, the Medford School Board is moving forward with plans to close the Medford Online Academy. The board voted to shut down the program, with the closure taking effect on June 30th. Enrollment has steadily declined, making it difficult for the district to maintain resources and staff. Students impacted by the closure will still have access to the online learning through their middle or high schools. Last night's meeting also marked the first for new board member Sunny Spicer. And also new this morning, another bill is heading towards Governor Tina Kotek's desk that aims to keep healthcare workers safe. Senate Bill 537 creates workplace violence prevention laws for certain healthcare operations. It requires healthcare employers to take actions to protect workers against risk of violence and other safety-related risk. The bill was passed by the Oregon House and Senate and is now heading to Governor Kotek's desk for signing. And in an update on Senate Bill 243, a legislation aimed at addressing gun safety in Oregon, the bill has now cleared the House, moving one step closer to becoming law. Senate Bill 243 would ban rapid-fire activators, which are devices that modify semi-automatic guns to mimic fully automatic fire. It would also let local governments set their own firearm rules in efficient meeting spaces like city halls and county buildings. In a separate action, lawmakers rejected a proposed licensing system for firearm dealers, citing concerns over its impact on small businesses. And it was a big day for healthcare access in Curry County. The Curry Health Network has broken ground on its new 8-bedroom infusion center. Curry County residents who are diagnosed with cancer have to drive at least 90 miles to receive chemo transfusions. Some residents have to cross the California border and risk insurance restrictions. This marks a huge step in developing this center that is set to open in spring of 2026.
We strive to meet the needs of the community, and I hope people see that and appreciate all that Curry Health Network is trying to do.
Right now, you're looking at a rendering of what this infusion center is going to look like when it's finished. Curry Health Network has received funding federally for the extension and is working to get funding from the state to help pay for the $9 million building. This is the beginning of a new and exciting chapter in accessible healthcare in Curry County. And during the summertime, many kids start making lemonade stands and sells it to the community. But for one 13-year-old, he started selling lemonade 2 years ago to help him buy new baseball equipment. Jake wakes up 6 in the morning to prepare his lemonade, and he makes the lemonade all by himself, and all of the supplies for it comes out of his own pocket. He strolls up to the corner of his street, carrying his lemonade supplies in a cart, and Jake says through the support of the community, he's been selling out his lemonade, and people have provided him with some new gifts.
Mostly when I saw other kids having better equipment and I didn't have the best stuff. And then people started donating. Like I got a pair of cleats for free, a bat, and people are just so nice and helping into it.
Jake says his parents always try to help him whenever they can. His stand is located at the intersection of Table Rock Road and Berrydale Avenue in Medford. And now that he's on summer vacation, Jake tries to sell his lemonade at least 5 days a week, including today. So if you can, go get yourself some lemonade. And Aello Airlines is celebrating a milestone at the Rogue Valley International Airport. The airline has flown more than 100,000 customers on over 900 flights since it began service in the area over 4 years ago. To celebrate, Aello is offering one-way fares starting at $49 from Medford. For more details on that deal, you can head on over to our website. And in Ashlin, the city is once again speaking for the trees, bringing back its annual Tree of the Year contest. Community members can vote on one of the 4 finalists selected by the city's Tree Management Advisory Committee. The tradition has been a part of Ashlin since 1988, with only one missed year in 2016. Voting is open through July 31st, and to vote, you can head on over to our website. And Medford's fourth annual Pride is happening tomorrow. The free event will take place at Rogue X from 12 to 6 p.m. The event will feature food trucks, live stage performances, and booths from local organizations. Attendees can participate in the food drive by bringing non-perishable food items for a chance to win prizes from local vendors.